EZFluence in this new version of 1.4 does actually support plan sums, and so you can take into account the scatter dose from other fields that are coming from another plan. So what you'll want to do to use this feature is you do need to set up, of course, your tangents just like you normally do with EZFluence. You'll need a separate plan that has your superclav. You can do the four field with the PAB in it, and you want it to be completed. You know that ideally the superclav plan is ready to go, and then it's just a matter of okay, how to normally you'd start doing your field and field or electron compensator for your tangents, but instead of doing that and having to worry about that extra dose from the superclavs due to the extra scatter that comes in, EZFluence can help you out to manage all that automatically. So we have our plan sum with those two plans in there. All of the fields, again, have to have dose calculated. I should also mention you can't have merged fields in your superclav in any plan sum plans that you want to use. With EZFluence, they can't be merged, so keep your field and field separate if you're doing a field and field for that. So we're ready to go. So we're going to launch EZFluence. So you'll first be presented with this plan sum selection. You want to make sure that the correct plan sum is selected, because if there is more than one plan sum in your context window, then EZFluence, the API, unfortunately doesn't present to EZFluence the one you have currently selected, so you have to specify that. And then it will automatically fill up this drop-down list with the plans that are in that plan sum, so you need to select the one that are the tangents. It should be pretty smart about selecting it for you, but make sure that that's the one you want to actually modulate. Hit OK. So this plan sum selection window might look like it's still there, but it's just because the window's thinking. So don't be too confused by that, hopefully. Plan sums take a little bit longer to calculate because there's a lot of extra dose information. So under the hood, EZFluence actually ran two sets of optimizations. One where it actually ignored the dose from the plan sum, so that extra superclav dose, and one where it included that in the optimization. And so what you'll see here appearing is this plan sum compensation slider bar. When it's all the way to the right, it means that it included that plan sum dose in the optimization completely. And so you can see here that my maximum dose in this PTV eval structure that's automatically contoured is 106%. So if I were to ignore that plan sum dose by dragging it to the all the way to the right, you see how that hotspot goes up to 113 because EZFluence generated its tangents, these fluence patterns, under the assumption that there was no scatter dose from the superclad field. So this is essentially what you would get if you ran EZFluence on the tangents and got that all set up and then made the plan sum. But what you can do is just drag this to whichever point in between that you want. If you want to fully compensate for the scatter dose, and drag all the way to the right. If you want to compensate partially, then you can drag it to the left. And this nice show transverse slices toggle button will automatically take you to the isocenter, and then as you scroll up and down, you're looking at tangent slices. So if you compensate halfway, you can see that the 100% line does kiss between the two plans. You also notice as I scroll up towards the superclad fields that the dose disappears at some point. So EZFluence really, because it's focused on modulating the tangent beams, it only includes dose from other fields within about the 2.5% or 5% dose fall off region. So the superclad field dose will disappear as you scroll up far enough. But the important thing is the match line. So when you click it, it'll take you to this to the isocenter. So you can scroll up and down through the CT slices. You can, of course, change this to 95 to see how your 95% dose looks. Drag this all the way over. So this is if you compensate completely. And you can actually see how EZFluence makes the fluence drop on the top when it's compensating for that scatter dose. So you see as you drag it to the right, now it's cooling it off from the tangents perspective. in order to make it so it matches nicely and doesn't have a hot spot in the tangent field due to the superclad fields. So that's really all there is to it. It's just a matter of selecting how much compensation you want for that extra scatter dose. Then it's just the regular workflow of selecting a max dose, possibly generating a field and field, exporting the field and field. I'm going to go ahead and export a field and field, or well let's do a fluence pattern, and send it back to Eclipse, and then we'll look at it as soon as it gets into Eclipse. So here we are back in Eclipse. We have our new plan that was just generated. You can see, let's set this to the absolute dose. So our hotspot is 109.5, which is very close to what EZFluence said it would be. Now you can see it actually compensated for the scatter dose a little bit because the coverage isn't super great up there, but as soon as you insert a new plan sum and make it between EZFluence and your superclavs, I'm just going to leave its default name, then we have a much better dose distribution to demonstrate. Let's see, 4240 is 100%. So up here you can see it at the very top was nice and uniform, 100%. It barely kisses, the 100% line does. So here's a 95% line. You can of course review it in the sagittal slices. If you don't like how it matches here, you obviously, like I said, can change in EZFluence how much compensation it does. If you do less compensation, you're probably going to have a hotter match. So yeah, that's EZFluence with plan sums.